Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are You Can with a K, and welcome to our presentation. I'm Amy.
I'm Ali.
And before we tell you what we think will make Britain great again, we'd first of all like to show you what the students of Bromsgrove School like about Britain already.
Wow. Sport.
Free healthcare.
Diversity. Health. Culture. Education. Wow. Diverse. Health. Culture. Education. Health. Culture. Education. Wow. Manufacturing.
So, on our presentation today, we are going to talk to you about what we think will make Britain great again, provided that we remain within the EU. On the topic of the EU referendum, whilst many seem to be focusing on immigration and sovereignty, we believe that trade and manufacturing are at the heart of everything that's important, and we believe that the UK can achieve great things, and that is why these badges are so important. First of all, I would like to think about for a moment what these products and these have in common. Why, they are all made in Britain. As we can see from all of these products, Britain has a fantastic history as a world-leading manufacturer and is currently leading in these three areas. So first of all, with the pharmaceutical sector. A highly skilled workforce and a close partnership with the government to promote research and development and manufacturing has led to increasing importance of the pharmaceutical sector in bolstering the UK economy. Between 1999 and 2014, this sector's contribution to the balance of trade was the sixth greatest of 9 industrial sectors. Secondly, with the automotive industry, according to the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Trades, in 2013, £64 billion was generated in turnover by UK automotive. In 2014, 1,228,777 cars were exported to 100 countries worldwide, and 770,000 people were employed in the industry throughout the UK, whilst then in 2015 they proceeded to have their best year in a decade. Thirdly then, with nanotechnology, this is the science and technology of small things. This research can lead to endless possibilities and improved devices across a wealth of industries. Globally, the opportunities in the sector have grown from $500 in 2004 to $3,000 billion in 2014. Continuing support and research and development in this area is crucial to being one of the global leaders in innovation.
Whilst manufacturing used to be one of our greatest strengths, this graph highlights that Britain's economy has moved away from strong manufacturing base to being more reliant on services. In 2015, we were the largest exporter in the world, whilst in 1997 to 2007 we were 4th and 5th. How can we use our membership of the EU as part of a large economic entity to boost our manufacturing capacity and make Britain great again?
There are many benefits of EU membership. Being a member of the EU gives us access to £16.6 trillion a year and a single market of 500 million people. Additionally, with just 7% of the world's population, the EU's trade with the rest of the world accounts for more than 20% of global exports and imports. Thirdly, around 2/3 of the EU countries' total trade is done with other EU countries, so how do we make the best of this opportunity?
Getting young people interested in manufacturing is key to maximising this economic opportunity, as currently only a small percentage of schools are looking at this career path. In a recent government survey, 40% of British children said manufacturing is a dirty industry, and only 15% consider a career in this section. So how do we get the wow factor back into the Made in Britain manufacturing camp? We believe this is especially important as we think that the route to greatness lies within the children of the future.
So, it's time now to make manufacturing exciting and enticing. Long-running projects such as the Enterprise Challenge have been effective at engaging young people to work on ideas as a team whilst creating closer links with local employers. However, this is not enough. There needs to be more projects in schools that engage young people in creating projects for the future and then knowing how to take them to the European and global markets. As well as this, there needs to be more proactive enticements to increase diversity. Recent research from the London School of Economics states that girls who take just one STEM subject at A-level will see their wages rise by £4,500, whilst these young women who sit 2 maths or science subjects are predicted to experience a pay boost of 33%. This would go some way to closing the gender pay gap if awareness of this could be aligned to a much more attractive industry. If we can bring this all together, we can transform ourselves to a Britain that leads the way as an innovation nation.
Another example where Britain has a great opportunity to reverse its trade deficit and maximise the opportunity of the European single market is the energy sector. The UK is currently a net importer of energy and yet leads the EU in innovation of smart grid technology, where there is an opportunity to add £5 billion to the UK GDP and has a unique tidal energy opportunity. This is just one example of where being a member of a larger economic union can provide a ready-made market as well as giving influence on a global scale.
So, in summary, we think that in order to make Britain great again, we need to become a global leader in manufacturing again by doing the following things. Using the EU market opportunities more effectively, attracting talented innovators to come into the industry through targeting schools, and encouraging diversity and attracting more women into manufacturing.
As we get closer to the decision as to whether to stay in the EU or not, it is still unclear as to whether business will be affected and how. However, what is clear is that by rebalancing the UK economy to encompass both services and manufacturing will make Britain a formidable economic force, and being part of the EU will put us on the perfect platform to achieve this.
Made in Britain has always been a world-leading trademark. It's time now to see our future as an innovation nation and see what the UK really can do. Thank you very much. This is it.
How long would you estimate it would take to change the culture to make manufacturing a more interesting career choice?
Well, I don't think we're sure at the moment how long it would take, but I think in order to make it more interesting, we need to increase awareness of how you make and market products, and there should be more creative products to encourage this in schools. For example, we could do the sort of thing that JCB are currently doing, as they have their own academy. So this could be a direction that we could go in and follow of more academies being linked to industry.
I also think that if the manufacturing business is becomes more well-known, more publicised to the public, and it becomes more popularised to women, then the culture will speed up a lot and it won't take not that long.
Have you thought about what kind of inducements you provide to attract a female workforce?
Well, I think if we just advertise the figures that we mentioned, so for example, if young women taking 2 maths or science subjects experiencing a 33% boost in their pay, I think if we just advertise figures like that, people would this would completely change the culture of how people see manufacturing, and then we wouldn't get the figures of so many people in schools seeing it as a dirty industry, as we mentioned.
Okay, questions from the audience? Ed?
How do you propose to compete with China's low cost when we're in the EU? You have to have labour, labour cost, you have to pay minimum wage and things like that. So surely if they can produce it like China cheaper, why would it be?
Well, because we have the benefits of being part of the EU. So most of the EU countries trade with other EU countries, so we would have that advantage over China.
Headmaster?
Yeah, just return to that manufacturing question. As Dr. Rimmer said, I'm just a humble geographer, so I know nothing about economics. And in the dim dark past, I do remember there were a few economists who thought economies should move towards service and away from manufacturing. But you raised the issue of nanotechnology. Do you want to say a little bit more about whether that is even manufacturing, or whether there are elements of nanotechnology that might be considered to be service, and what the opportunities that you see there in nanotech are?
Well, I see what you mean, how nanotechnology could be seen as a service, but I think if you take it down to the basics of it, it is a manufacturing industry as you are making things. And so the EU has already invested a great deal of money into research and development for nanotechnologies. And so I think the most important thing now is that the EU must now create the right conditions for realising the full potential of nanotechnology.
Okay, let's take one from the screen. I'll choose. You showed a Dyson as a prop. James Dyson is supporting the Leave campaign. He's the leader of the manufacturing in the UK. You're arguing for the fact that we are remaining.
Whilst I am aware of that, it's also important to note that Dyson would have voted to leave the euro, and that quite frankly would have been a disaster.
Dr. Murphy?
I think if Jaguar Land Rover aren't already paying you, I think they should be paying you for increasing participation in manufacturing. To pick on that last point, it's interesting you mentioned JCB as well, because very recently the head of JCB sent out 6,000 letters encouraging his workforce to vote Leave as well. But putting those two really small points aside, do you think there's a difference between, and this might explain this, do you think there's a difference between our future in certain forms of manufacturing, whether our future is in innovative high-end manufacturing, or how do you see the future of manufacturing?
I think there's definitely going to be like a difference, because obviously if they're going to be like, if they're going to become more involved in this manufacturing, they're going to probably want to go a certain way, maybe a different way to men. So I don't know how it sounds, but I think.
And if we're advertising the pay increase, this would possibly suggest that it would be in more high-profile manufacturing. So yeah.
Okay, one final one from the audience. Yes. Okay, I'll pick one from the board. Wouldn't you say it will be educationally unbeneficial to push people into STEM subjects when they are not good at them?
Well, I think one of the most important things in education is to push people perhaps beyond their comfort zones. They might achieve surprisingly more than they think they could.
Thank you very much.